patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Yeah, we like, your girl has been calling for days. I get they know different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
And, Coach, we are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Blues and the New Orleans Saints. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now they try the right side here. Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. Green 39, green.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Following the interception here, Mariota. He's Incomplete to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw Mariota. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Watch it now, Barney.
On third down, it's Ellis. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a handoff looking right. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And this one is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Klein escaping the pressure right. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2nd down, Mariota. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
The 2nd down throw here for Mariota. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by half step.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A.J. Green, 32 yards. And his guys have taken a 1st quarter lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Klein, he's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, Klein. Throw left side, complete to Foster. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With a tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
From the gun on third down. Klein. Over the middle, complete. It's Oliver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Klein. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Mariota. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Klein. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet and then taken down right at the 30. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Detroit! Detroit!
On third down, that's Ellis. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. On first and 10, Klein. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Off play action. Klein. That's complete to Meredith. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Klein. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. On third down, that's Ellis. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Being chased out left. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
To throw from his end zone. Klein. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw from his end zone. Klein. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Mariota yelling out the play call as he hustles everyone to get set. To throw is Mariota. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Off the play fake, Mariota. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 33. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Klein. Flushed out right. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Patriot! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Klein. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The left side caught by Diggs. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mariota. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And it's a wobbler, but he does get it to go as it creeps over the bar. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So not the most convincing of kicks, but he got it to go.
Yeah, from a short distance, you expect a little bit more out of that kick, but the bottom line is what?
3 points.
3 points. Doesn't matter how it looked. It still counts the same.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Patriot! Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Klein. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Saints on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey. 4 down.
Off the play fake. Klein. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Mariota now on second down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And he's able to find Diggs. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. from the shotgun. It's Mariota eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Mariota to throw it. And Diggs has it. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, it's Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Green. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. First down, Mariota. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Now Mariota. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now they try the right side here. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 11.
Gun! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's complete to Diggs. Touchdown, Chicago! Stephon Diggs, 38 yards. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Mariota. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Back. Detroit!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shawty got potential, I scout that. She said